Hello and welcome to this week's episode of
Advice for Your Besties. This is where we take your questions and hopefully give you somewhat good advice.
So today we have a question. We're going to do it just a little differently. Lindsay, if you could read what the question was that was submitted.
Yes. Okay. Whenever I'm not focused on a man and dating him, I feel extremely confident and I thrive in all areas of my life. When I start to date someone, I feel insecure and I have way more anxiety attacks. Why is this the case?
Okay. Now I think Lindsay, no, may I see that please?
Yeah.
Oh, wait, maybe I don't need to. I think Lindsay, we don't do this typically on Advice from Your Besties, but this, I want to know, Lindsay, is this a plant? Like, did you write this?
I did
For
not.
me.
I did not write this, but I saw this question. I was like, huh.
Okay,
This
so
sounds
let's
like
role
Chelsea.
play this.
Mhm.
You ask me questions. Let's get to the bottom of this because this feels very real.
In your wheelhouse.
Oof. I am struggling with this literally as we speak right now.
Okay, so
And
we just went on a date. How are you feeling?
not great. It was great, right? And it was amazing. It was so enjoyable. And each moment I was like, this is awesome. Right? And it just felt like I wasn't pushing anything. And it was just like, I really enjoyed the banter that's being said right now. That being said, the minute I walked away, I was like, I couldn't help but like judge my performance.
Mhm.
And then I'm already freaking out about like future. I don't take away the presence, like even an avatar of someone I consider like a romantic thing. Like I'm pretty cool. Like I'm chill. I don't really give a fuck. Like nothing really
Right.
phases me. So now like if you title it. So what I think I'm actually trying to do
Mhm.
is not necessarily think about this as a romantic thing, but like I'm auditioning like a newest best friend.
Okay.
And that's why today when we were talking about it, you're like friend zone. I was like, well, you know what? I think it's more important to know, do I like this person as a person? Do I like this person as potentially as a friend and even more as a best friend?
Mhm.
And then like romance may or may not ensue, but does that matter?
Right.
Because I would be stoked if I had this as like a solid long-term best friend.
I mean, I'm personally offended that you're looking for a new best friend.
It does sound like that, doesn't it?
So
Like
I mean,
shopping around.
if it could just be like friend or like friend with benefits, you know, like
I really appreciate that.
romantic friend, not best friend.
Because like, you know what? I think it'd be better not to. The thing I've been playing in my head and heart lately is, would I be willing to lose this person entirely?
Mm.
And if it's like, no, I really don't want to, what do I need to do to reframe this so I stop acting so fucking crazy? We all know.
So basically, if you just take out like the expectation that it's gonna be your man's and just act like he's a friend, then it's maybe I guess takes off the anxiety
Right.
of it.
Because
and
I'm
then-
cool.
and takes off the insecurity.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, is this too much? Well, I don't ever think, is this too much when I'm hitting you up, like texts
Nope.
and stuff. Like I just do. Like either you like this or you don't.
Right.
So I'm just gonna put it out there. And you know, I keep hearing, and I should have said this earlier in today's episode, but it was like I keep hearing this. You be you. I'm not hearing it like in my head. I'm being told you be you, and I'm like, I really am not able to trust this when you say
Right.
this. Like I have never been me. And only recently, like in the last 2 years, have I started to like me.
Mhm.
Like, so just like you, when you announce like selling your practice
Mhm.
and fully being you, this is new too, right? I mean,
Yeah.
like you feel exposed and vulnerable and you're like, what if you don't like this? I'm sure some people went through this in middle school, but I didn't. So I think I'm proposing we have a new merch line that says you be you. Huh, who knew? Because it might actually, somebody might like it.
Yeah.
You like it.
I like it. Yeah, until you try to replace me with a new best friend,
You like
then I
it.
don't
How
like
much
it.
do you like it? Well, that was a long-winded question, and I don't know. Good luck. We're all fucked.
Can't relate. Sorry.
Lindsay's like, you guys are weirdos.
Okay, next question. My husband chose to spend our 4-year anniversary going to a Taylor Swift concert with his sister. And I've been a little bit upset about it. Should I be upset or is this okay? I think it's okay.
Really? And that's why you're married.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, no, I would burn his clothes at the knees. He only had like, I would burn his pants up to his knees. So
That's such like a fucked up way to fuck with his clothes. Like burn them? That no, why not just cut them at the knees?
yeah, no, for sure.
Yeah.
Because I can't be lighting fire
Yeah.
and like I don't know what
Like
those
how are you gonna
acrylics are
stop it
gonna
at the
do.
knees? How is that even gonna work indoors or outdoors? Do you have a hose? Is it in the
Yeah,
bathtub?
no,
Yeah.
cut.
Okay.
A solid cut. But it would be like friends like the
The
danger
danger
zone.
zone.
Or a clam digger.
Okay, this is why I'm not upset that he's going to a Taylor Swift concert on the 4-year anniversary. First of all, do you know how hard it is to get Taylor Swift tickets?
Yeah, you know what? You're exactly right. You're exactly right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'd be like, you know what? I can't stand in your way. If I'm your friend, if nothing at the very most, we're friends, we're lovers, we're husband and wife.
Mhm.
Do I really support you through thick and thin? This is me supporting the fact that you're lucky enough to go. And if you're gonna have bond with your sister, fuck yeah, dude.
Yeah.
It's just your sister. Like it doesn't get any more wholesome than that. And how great is it that your husband's the kind of man that wants to have a bonding moment with his sister,
Mhm.
and he doesn't like punt and give you the ticket. Like I applaud that.
Yeah, and just like heads up, you can also celebrate your anniversary the day
Oh,
before
he's gonna make it up
or
to
the
you,
day
sis.
after. Like I've been married almost 8 years and I still don't know if the anniversary is August 27th, 28th, or 29th. So like
Yeah.
give him a break.
Yeah. You know what? Ease up.
Yeah.
And let me tell you, if you play your cards right, you're gonna get this is gonna work out in your favor.
Mhm.
Like
He'll
I'm
come home with
sorry.
some merch for you,
Oh
something
yeah, but he's
else.
gonna like double down
Yeah.
on however you like to celebrate.
Okay. Where do I find people to practice talking to or social clubs online? Because I'm very socially awkward and have bad anxiety.
That's not where I would start. Talking to people in general?
Yeah.
Like on the phone?
Like in person.
I dare say you don't start on chat in a chat room.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to be online because the online communication, I don't think you get your personality across. And it's hard to have a full-fledged conversation online. What you could do if you're meeting people through Instagram is send a voice message
Yeah, or a video
because,
message.
yeah, or video message because then at least you're getting like your tone across and the point across. So you could start with that if you found someone on Instagram and you're liking their things and you're just like, hey, really like your
Yeah.
page. I feel like we would be friends.
I think that's a really good point. Maybe, yeah, I think I want to jump in on
Mhm.
this. While maybe chat rooms is an antiquated way of doing it, what Lindsay's saying is more than likely you spend a lot of time on more than likely there's a chance you spend time on Instagram. So now you're engaging with a community that you do like, maybe someone like or a category or a group in which you feel connection to, feel strongly about whatever it is, whether it's like puppies or like whatever the things, outfits, working out and wellness. So someone of a shared interest, right? And the sooner you can take it from an digital, would it be considered analog? I don't know, like where you're like
Mhm.
now videoing, you'll start to like learn how to interact, because what you're not knowing how to do when it comes to like interacting and feeling awkward with people, it is 100% a learned like physical, it's a skill, because you are connecting with people on a number of different levels when you're face to face. Like are you making eye contact? Like your body language. And you think just getting over how you feel is the most important part. It's not actually.
Uh-uh.
That is child's play when you're learning how to interact with people in face to face. Really, you're just a vessel and you should be making this all about them. Are they being listened to? Is the message that they're saying like heard? Are you interacting with what they're saying, or is it just about you? So like if you could get out of your own head and stop making it about you, you'll forget about yourself. And then you'll come to realize that like the point of interacting is about what can come from the two of you.
Mhm. Yeah, I think you're probably focusing too much on what they're going to say and anticipating what you're going to say. Just listen. And you know what? If it takes a beat for you to respond, that's okay.
Oh, it's even more. I think it's a very effective tool to be a good listener.
Mm-hmm.
That is if you ask me what's the one thing that makes up a really good interaction with a human being is, did I feel listened to?
Mm-hmm.
Do something different. Stop talking about the basics. Like, ask them how they felt about that. Like, oh, that sounds like that really matters to you. Like, questions similar to what we do here. Like,
Mm-hmm.
we try and make a point of really listening to one another, and like, oh, you guys really get along well. That's because we fucking like what we're hearing, and we want to get in that playground in the sandbox and like mess around. Anyway,
Mm-hmm.
do that.
Listen.
To so fire every Monday and Thursday.
Okay, I thought this was a funny question. How do I become naturally funny?
Mm.
Naturally
Child
funny.
trauma. Not everybody can be funny. That's a really good question. What are you going to say about that?
I mean, naturally funny. Yeah, sometimes you are naturally funny. Having childhood trauma. I also heard that, if you were like fat when you were younger or
Mhm.
just like being picked on a lot when you're younger, you probably had to have a personality to deal with it.
Okay, so if you didn't have those things
Mhm.
and someone came to you and asked, how do I be naturally funny? What would you say?
Well, we've been talking about doing an improv class.
Uh-huh.
So I think you could go that route.
That is an excellent suggestion. I would, oof.
Or you could also, I don't know, study comedians.
That's right. That's an excellent thing. There is and we were saying this to someone the other day. There is a bit of performance to all of this, right? There's timing, there's delivery, there's the use of like face, tone, all of those things. And while that seems like very dramatic for an just a conversation, that's how this podcast really came about. Is because the way in which we talk on air, certainly a little more tidied up and like buttoned up for your listening pleasure.
You're welcome.
But this is how we kind of talked in real life,
Yeah.
right? And it did always feel like a comedic bit, but and then you learn to if you could do it with someone else initially, like play off of them, you'll start to see like what lands. So you should always be like watching your audience and see like, where is there an opening to say something funny? If you can pull from like history or pop culture, like things that you might see on Alex Trebek.
Oh, Jeopardy?
Yeah, like all those little like facts, if you could like pull from those and like insert them, if you can quickly AI with artificial intelligence, be like, oh, that historical quote from 4th grade goes to this, goes with this like pop culture thing, you catch people off. So the more you can catch people off down the path of a boring ass conversation and they like hiccup with a laugh, you won.
Yeah.
So then try and mirror that, like try and duplicate that effort.
Mm-hmm. I also think there's different types of comedy, like a slapstick comedy, a witty comedy, something just like observational. So pick your poison.
In terms of being naturally funny,
Yeah.
those are some of the ones to choose from. You could be like a subtle, dry sense of humor that it just like whispers a little like at the end of every sentence.
Yeah.
Which one of those am I? Did you know I didn't even care about what I was saying? I was like, which one am I? What kind of funny?
Maybe like an observational with the wittiness.
Someone
what kind am I?
Close to.
How does it feel to be put on the spot?
I think you're vulnerable.
Hmm.
You make like vulnerable statements sometimes that are just observational, but because you're so like these little quips that come out of you that they're like so unexpected. So like, is that satire? No, I don't know what that is, but like, so this is what we're saying is that you can define what kind of funny you are. It is not just a blanket thing to be like funny, but Lindsay will just be like, you know what happened to me?
It's like a sneak attack. You don't see it coming.
You don't expect her even to say this. And when she says it, it's like, oh, I thought it was the only one, because Lindsay has this tendency to make herself seem not relatable. Like, things are so great and I'm so great. I'm so great. And so when she does say something and she says it real, you're like, I knew you felt the same way. You stinker. Fucking lying to me this whole time. I don't know. I just really get a kick out of that. Anyway, what kind of funny am I? Some might say that I am self-deprecating.
Oh, yeah.
That makes me I do that often in hopes that it, like, people find that endearing.
Mhm. I also like to circle things back around in
Yeah.
the conversation.
Oh, you're really good at that.
Yeah.
You're really good at that.
I'll listen for something and I'm just like, when it comes back, I'm like, boom.
Just like the net that captures
Yeah.
it and like, "Ooh, I'm gonna use you later."
Yep.
Well, what was it that one time I was like, "I know someone who's gonna love it, who's gonna" but that anyway.
Anyways, those are all of our questions for
They were
today.
so good. That
So
last one was
good.
my favorite.
Chelsea's definitely not the humble kind of funny.
I am, I said self-deprecating.
Oh, yeah, you did.
I oscillate between the 2. So, I'm not like sad sack of mopio,
No,
but it's
definitely
like,
not.
man, that's not
No.
funny.
Mm-mm.
That's definitely
We
not
we
funny.
don't like that.
We don't like sad or ugly.
If you wanna know how yeah. That's not funny.
Get yourself a bestie. Just cut some things.
Get yourself a bestie who thinks everything is funny.
Now the thing is, you don't know which one we were talking about.
Okay, well, that was super fun. We'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye.
Disclaimer. This podcast is for entertainment purposes only. The stories and statements expressed herein are experiences and opinions. They may not represent the views of the production studio or the hosts. If you disagree with our content, that's okay. No podcast is perfect for everyone.